Alright everybody, welcome back to FRL for round 8 for the British GP. I will be your commentator. Jay Morris, as your normal commentator, is not here for tonight, so I'll take over for this race. And we are here at the British GP, a venue that has produced some fantastic action throughout the years of history of racing, and hopefully we'll see some more today as well. Weather can play a factor. These high speed corners can overtake, going side by side with multiple of them, especially down on the Wellington and Hanger Straight and at Stowe as well. So hopefully we'll see some overtaking action, and we'll just go into the lobby for waiting to ready up. So last week, obviously I've not been catching up, but I've got some standings for tonight, and it was Jerome, not Jeroen, it's Jerome who won the Austrian Grand Prix last time out, and he's currently 9th in the championship standings. So Jerome Visser is leading the championship by 1 point ahead of Santeri. SXT Yogurt in P3 ahead of Sahilo in P4, Lars in P5, Arnold in P6, Yannick in P7, Ginger in P8, Jerome in P9, Keen Hodgson in P10, Haynes in P11, Kyle in P12, Zach in P13, Jamie Morris in P14, Sam in P15, and the rest is on as well. The reserve drivers is there as well. So that is your championship standings, which is currently led by Jerome Visser. As we enter this 18-minute qualified session now, short qualified session. We'll just see which drivers are out on the circuit then, as we wait for the drivers. There we are. We've got one of them, which is Zach, who's coming out the pit lane on the soft compound tyres. Some of them gone for mediums and some of them gone for soft compound tyres, so we'll see which is the best tyre. Strategy around here should be an easy one stop, no problem whatsoever on the tyre compound. Soft to medium, or medium to soft, the alternative strategy. But the Williams and Ferrari then getting very close to each other. That is Kezizel who's getting very close to the Ferrari. Hopefully they don't make contact. Kezizel has opted to go for the medium compound tyres. As you can see that they're both racing, and he gets pushed onto the grass there, so keep it nice and clean, boys. You don't want to. Oh, they've both touched, so yeah, I dare say that could be a 5-second time penalty for one of them, or not both of them. They might got away with it, but hopefully that won't happen ever again. I don't know what they were trying to do there. Zach clearly had the track position, and Kizitol wanted it. but Zach wasn't giving it up. So this track then is 5.8 kilometers long. Hopefully it will produce some entertaining racing tonight, because it always has done in the past previous years. First race held in 1950, of course. The tracks had different many layouts, as it changed in 2010, I believe, or 11. Because I can't remember what year it was, but the old layout compared to the new layout, I prefer much better. Coming through Stowe, then another fantastic corner where you'll see plenty of side-by-side action in recent years. And coming into this slow corner, I think it's called Club or Vale, not quite sure, but anyways, Zach then is coming towards the penultimate corner to start his flying lap now. Here we go then, 5.8 km circuit with Zach as we're about to approach turn 1 then. Flick it through, fully flat out through turn 1, use a lot of curb with the entry. Turn 2 as well, as the LP gets nice out of the way. Then turn 3, brake before the 50 metre board. Kiss the apex, you want to take it very nice and smooth, but the throttle there. Brake over to the right and go into the left. Kiss the apex there, you don't want to get on the curb there because it'll upset your car. Very nice exit as well, no wheel spin. We're approaching 1 into straight. DRS enabled then as we're about to approach the first possible overtaking opportunity in Brooklands. There we go then. Bring it down to 4th gear, kiss the apex there. Be very nice and gentle and smooth with the throttle through here. Up into 4th gear we go. Back up through the gears, coming towards Woodcut now. This is, this is Woodcut. Now coming towards the fast right-hander. Some people like to lift, or some people like to go flat out. Zach has a slight lift through there, as we're about to make our way into Magnus and Beckett's then. The first 2 corners of Magnus and Beckett's are flat out. They gradually get slower as you progress through there. Going down into 6th gear, 5th gear for Zach there, up into 6th. A DRS enabled then, and it's a 3.2 for the middle sector there for Zach. So it's a nice and clean lap so far on Zach's banker, as we're about to approach Stowe, another place where overtaking will happen. Go up to 6th gear, use the exit curve through there. Now coming into these slow speed corners. Brake as the curve starts to develop. Kiss the apex for this one. Attack this one as well. Up into 4th gear. Nice exit there from Zach. And this is going to be a 26.8 for Zach's first lap then. So that's the benchmark everybody has to beat. And next across the line is the LP. That's Spartan to start his flying lap. And we'll see then who else is going to cross the line to start their lap. I can see some people going to the pit lane. That's a Williams has gone to the pit lane. AlphaTauri is next across the line. That is Jerome. And he's currently in P2 with a 29.7 on the mediums. Javuvaza in P6 with a P2 with a 26.9. Only a tenth away despite being on those medium compound tyres. Haynes in P3 with a 27.1 there. And the Hash Giants crossed the line to start his flying lap. There's 2 cars ahead of him. Hopefully he'll get out of the way. There's Ginger coming through. I think he's on a flying lap. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he is on a flying lap. Then approaching turn 3. Now coming into turn 4 we go. Slight lock up on entry, but still rotates the car nicely. Khalifa goes into P4. Turn Racer on P5 on the medium compound tyres. So quite a few medium runners early in the stage during their bank collapse that obviously they'll switch over to the soft compound tyre. 27.4 for Ginger as he misses the apex there, so didn't quite hook it up as he would have wanted. Didn't quite connect with the apex there. Coming out of Brooklyn. Oh, he lost traction there and he saved the car. Many people in that scenario would have spun the car, but he has to back out now and try and go for another lap time. Lonzos has gone up into P3 there with a 27.0. Decent lap times coming in. Sahilo in P6 with a 27.4. A few hundreds quicker than Terra Racer in P7. Who else we got out there on the fly? We've got Samba on a fly lap on the soft compound tyres. Who else we got? We've got Mickey Litsi as well. We've got Kazizel on an out lap. He's on the soft compound tyres. He switched over from mediums to softs. I think he was like Williams. I mentioned that came into the pit lane. Might have picked up some damage, not quite sure. That's probably why he went to the pit lane with the collision he had with Zach. So that's a possible reason why he could have went to the pit lane there. On board with Alex then, his middle sector is going to be a 3.5 as we approach 320 kilometers an hour down this straight. Going into Stowe, it takes it down to 4th gear. Many people take it down to 5th and go up to 6th, but he goes wide at the exit and he invalidates, so he has to come back in the pit lane then. We've got Mickey Litsi coming through Beckett's now. Takes it very nice and quickly through there. His middle sector is going to be a 3.2. Decent middle sector for his first flying lap. As now we're making our way through Stowe. Bring down to 5th gear for the extra rotation. He goes down into 4th gear. He didn't really quite hook up that corner as he would have wanted there. So he lost a little bit of time on entry. Coming through these slow speed corners there, we go back up to the throttle and through the gears we go. and this lap time is going to be a 26.9, and pops himself up into P3 then, so decent first lap there from Mickey Litsey. And Ginger on a second flying lap on the same set of softs. If you remember, he lost the car coming out of Beckett, so not Beckett, it's Brooklands, so he's going for it again on his second attempt on the same set of soft compound tyres he started on. And it's a 3.1 in the middle sector. That's slightly quicker than Mickey Litsey's time in that middle sector, so expect him to be in the top 3 if he keeps it nice and clean as we make our way through into Stowe. Run out wide to the exit there, use plenty of the road, use all of the track. Now coming to see slow speed corners, attack the curves through here. You can see he went over that red curb in there, which you don't really want to do because it can unsettle the car. But Ginger makes his way across the line now, and he goes provisional pole with a 26.6, so decent second flying lap for Ginger there. But majority of the drivers did set their lap time on the mediums, which quite a lot of them did actually, from P5 down to P11, so we're still waiting for those to go over to the soft compound tyres, and let's see what they can do then. Tyres down there in P12. He's done 2 laps so far on these set of soft compound tyres, making his way through the last 2 corners there. Nice exit there from tyres, and he's going to go up into P8 there, so 27.1, and he's mixed in with the medium runners, so he definitely needs to improve on that lap. He's done 3 laps on these set of soft compound tyres, so he needs to change over. Doing that though, he could be going for a long run on these set of softs and potentially going on to the medium tyres if he wants to, but Kizizzle, quite odd approach going into pit lane. He backs out at the very last moment, so quite sure what's going on there for Kizizzle. We've got Kyle on a flying lap now in the Mercedes going through Cops. Both drivers keeping nice out the way there as we come through Maggots and Beckett's 8th gear, flat out corners, down to 7th for this one, down into 5th gear for this one. Immediately going up to 6th there as we approach the end of the last middle sector. It's a 3.2 there for Kyle, on par with Ginger's middle sector there. Coming through Stowe then, taking a curve of the entry and running out wide, not too wide though. That was on the boundaries of elimination there for Kyle. Coming through the slow speed corners and slightly missed the first part of it, attacks the second part of it, gets on the throttle, and let's see what lap time Kyle can set. And he goes up into P6 in the Mercedes. Who else we got there on a flying lap? Finley coming through Cops now. Takes it flat time, he loses the car and he spins. I know a lot of people have done that recently. I think it's quite easy to lose the car out of Cops. He took it flat out though, or tried to take it flat out, but it didn't quite work. The back end just sticking out of him, and sadly for him that is his lap time ruined. I don't think he's been the first or last driver to do it. Plenty of drivers have done it before. We're on board with ERT Samba then. He hasn't set a lap time yet, but he's on one. Now coming through turn 5 we go. DRS enabled, getting a slipstream off the AlphaTauri there. Picking up a nice toe indeed as his first sector is a 27.5. Coming into Brooklands then. Hooking the car up nicely through there. Getting the car rotated, being smooth on the throttle, short shifted to reduce that wheel spin, especially through this corner here where most drivers tend to lose it. Quite a common place to lose it if you are going to lose it through traction on there. Now we're coming through Cops there. Let's see how he takes it. Will he go flat out? He lifts off slightly there. Is the flat out the way to go? I wonder, has the driver's got the confidence to go flat out without losing the rear end? I think in qualifying, I tend to lift off because I don't have the confidence to take it flat out through there. And it's a 3.2. I think that's the best middle sector I've seen so far from Samba. So he's on course to go to provisional pole if he keeps it nice and tidy through this third sector as we approach Stowe. Runs it out wide at the exit, and now coming through these slow speed corners here. Let's see how he takes it then as Hayes goes quickest with a 26.4. That's the lap time we're talking about now, and he goes up into P2 to Samba, 2/10 slightly away, but that P2's been taken by Khalifa, the ERT boys, taking first, second and third with a decent lap time they're producing, but Hayes the quickest out of all of them with a 26.4, so times are ramping up now as the track's starting to evolve, and majority of the people are switching from mediums to softs. We've still got Chiruva's left to go on the soft compound tyres. He's out there on a flying lap. There he goes then around the final corner, and it's P1. It's a 26.4 by 700s. That's a fantastic lap time there from Chiruva as it takes it only just though. Still got plenty of time to go left in this qualifying session. We've still got Ronzis yet to go on the set of time with the soft compound tyres. So it's the Hilu 2 racer and Jerome. Ronzis will be the next to cross the line then, as we'll see how he's doing. Slight lock up on entry, but still rotates the car nicely through there. attacking the corners as Zach goes up into P3. Where does Ronsus go? He goes up into P2 with a 26.4. 3 drivers on a 26.4. That's how close it is between the top 3. A few hundreds or a few tens could get you up the pecking order there, so so close throughout the field. Where is Sahilo then? Sahilo making his way around the penultimate corner. Let's see how this lap time is for him, and it goes up into P10 with a 26.8, just in the top 10 there, just pushing out Mickey Litzy, who is on a flying lap coming through Cops. Goes into 7th gear, majority of the people take it through 8th, but he decided to shift down into 7th there. Coming through Magnus Rebekis then, let's see how he takes it. Hits the apexes, keeps it nice and clean. Used a lot of cable through there. DRS enabled. It's a 3.0, so on par to what Hayes did in the middle sector. Picking up just a distant toe from the Alpine ahead of us. Yet again, he goes through wide and he picks up understeer and he has to go off the track. So sadly for him, he has validated it and takes a late call into the pit lane. And Ginger has spun coming through Cops. So Ginger has almost lost it once and he's lost it twice now. So Ginger then struggling as he's currently in P8. You can see the tyres there overheating. So those could be thrown in the bin and he will have to go on a brand new set of tyres to improve his position from P8. Jerome is out of fuel, but he's already done a lap time down there in P10. Where's Tyres? Tyres is coming through turn 4 right now. Coming through turn 5 we go. DRS is enabled. Everybody on the soft compound tyre except the Alfa Romeo of Keen down there in P17. How much time we got left on the board there, I wonder. DRS is enabled for him on this straight. 3.2, that's not a bad middle sector despite being on those medium compound tyres. There's 4 minutes left to go, so we can always go back in the pit lane and put on a brand new set of softs if he wanted to, but he's going to probably continue on his lap time. As we make our way through the final 3 corners then. As a slight lock up on entry, still hits the apex through there. Attacking the corners nicely there as we make our way towards the line, and it's going to be P13, so I think it's definitely suitable for him to go on the soft compound tyres to improve his positioning. We're on board with Tyres, weren't we? He's 2/10 quicker in that middle sector is Tyres. As we'll make our way through Stone now, the fast right-hander goes very wide. Could this be the validation? No, he still makes the corner, but not an ideal line to take you through there to Stone, so we might have lost a bit of time. Has Tyres in the Aston Martin. Make our way through the final corner, and what lap time is it going to be? It's only P14 sadly for Tyres. Definitely have to improve on that position. He's got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock to do something about it. But majority of the people then in the pit lane are just waiting for the final few moments to tick down, and we'll see who will take pole position. Will it be Jeroen Visser? Could it be Ronsus, Haynes, Zach, anybody? They're so close at the top up there. Three minutes and 50 seconds left to go as majority of the drivers are heading back into the pit lane. 2 of them are Tyres and Keen, who've done their flying lap. Well, it looks like Tyres have done a lap. So what Tyres is doing there is going for a second consecutive lap time. And sometimes it could work, sometimes it can't, because if you go for a second consecutive flying lap, your tyres will overheat and you won't have enough to grip through the final sector, if that makes sense, especially tracks like Japan, Bahrain, etc. Coming through Magnus Rebekis then. He did go wide coming out of Cops, but got away with it. His middle sector is a 3.0. Actually, he almost goes 2/10 quicker as Keen has decided to retire, so he won't improve on his position. We'll start P13 or downwards as he makes his way to Stowe there. I believe he's taken a much better line this time in comparison to the last time where he lost a bit of time. So Kai is then doing more than one lap on the same set of tyres as he makes his way towards the line. It's going to be P8 for tyres with 26.6. We'll see if we get pushed down the pecking order. And that's definitely over for him then, because he can't come back in the pit lane, or he can't go for another flyer lap because those tyres are probably cooked up by now. But as you can see there, he clearly had more than a few laps of fuel left. Got to be careful not to get in anybody's way now, because they're all starting to come out of the pit lane for their last flying lap. So who's the first man out of the track then? We'll find out. The Haas driver, there's an Alpine ahead of him. Is that Finley? Probably Finley's teammate will go on board with. If I can find him. There he is, Ginger, coming to Magnus Rebekis then. On his first flying lap he lost it, and his third flying lap, which he did on the same set of tyres, he spun coming through cops. So let's see that can Ginger hook up this time. Bearing in mind he's only 2/10 away from the fastest time from P1 to P9, so he's not too far away. But Ginger has been struggling quite out of the traction zone, so hopefully he can get that sorted and see what lap time he can produce then coming through the final 3 corners. Right then, so let's see what Ginger can do as the first man to cross the line to start their final flying lap. As we'll make our way through turn 1 and turn 2, flat out corners through here. Turn 3 brake where the curve starts to develop. A bit of hesitation going on there with the steering from Ginger. Wasn't quite really confident going into turn 3. Could have cost him a few hundreds at least. Now making our way out of turn 5. DRS enabled then for the Dutchman. Making our way onto went into straight. Expect to see plenty of side-by-side action. And as you can see at the top right of the screen that he's a few hundreds down in that first sector. So that hesitation could have cost him. And this is where he lost the car last time. This time, almost lose it, but managed to keep it stick. We're coming through one cut now. As we'll make our way through the fast right-hander. He decides to go flat out. And we'll make our way through Magnussen Beckett, staying in 7th gear, doesn't go to 8th. Flat out through the first part, Magnussen Beckett. Down to 6th gear radio, then double shift if you want to through the next part. He stays in 5th gear. And his middle sector is a 3.0, so he's improved by a 10th. Has the Ginger. That 10th could possibly put him up to P4 or P5, depends how much time he can find. Doesn't go too wide through Stoke. Coming into the final 3 corners then. Goes down to 2nd gear entry, up to 3rd immediately, and into 4. Short shifted there to reduce the wheel spin in these slow speed corners. And Ginger will pop himself up into P4. He does find time in that final sector then. So let's see then who else is next to cross the line. It's going to be McLaren. That's Sahilu down in P12. Looking to get inside the top 10. And this lap time is going to be P6 ahead of Khalifa. Next man to cross the line is Khalifa, who gets himself back up into P3. Next man to cross the line is the Alpine. And that Alpine does not improve. He's just crossed the line. That was Finley. Terror Racer has gone off the track in Magnussen Beckett, and I'm on board with his teammate who's improving, but I think he's evaluated it. Yes, he has evaluated it, so he will not improve or get a pole position. Next man is the Mercedes, is to cross the line, and he stays in P4, but he does improve. And Giroud is out there somewhere on the track. The next one to cross the line is the AlphaTauri of Giroud. Giroud stays in P8. And Samba takes pole position by 2/10, but here comes Giroud. He does not take pole position, he stays in P2, but only a few hundreds away from Samba. So Samba then taking pole position at the last moment ahead of Giroud. Starts at the front row, first and second, Samba and Giroud. Good effort there from Samba, 26.2. It's a very good lap time indeed for him. Giroud improving, but not enough, and he will stay in P2. Ronzo, could he get a pole position if he didn't invalidate? But that is qualifying done and dusted. The only driver we didn't see set a time is Kazizel. Interestingly, he was out there on the track, but he didn't set a lap time. Just waiting for the 27 lap race ahead of us. It should be very interesting then to see what could happen. There it is then. Samba takes pole position by a 10th ahead of Jerome Visser. Ronzos in P3 ahead of Khalifa in P4. Haynes in P5. Ginger in P6. Zach P7. Sahilu P8. Jerome in P9 ahead of Terror Racer. Tyres in P11. Arnade in P12. Mickey Litzy P13, Keane, Hogson in P14, Kyle in P15, Finley in P16, Alex in P17, Kazizel in P18 will start last place. Only driver on the medium compound tyres was Keane. I wonder, did he think the mediums were better than comparison to the softs? Did he want to start outside the top 10 because he made no effort to go on the soft compound tyres? Looking good for our championship leader, Jeroen Visser, who's currently sat in P2 at the moment on the grid. Santeri is not here for tonight, so his nearest championship rival Yogurt is also not here tonight. Yannick is not here tonight. Next to his name is DNS, so does not start, I presume. His nearest rival is currently in P6, which is Ginger. Then comes Sahilu, then Arnade. If I do pronounce your name wrong, I'm terribly sorry, just please correct me. I'll try my best with the names. Arnaud is probably pronounced, but anyways, we're on our formation lap then. We'll look at the tyre choices below. So top 10, look at that, evenly split. Top 10 on the soft compound tyres. Terra Racer in the worst place to start, down in P10, because he's got drivers on newer tyres behind him. So tyres is the highest medium runner ahead of Arnaud Mikulitsi in P13 with his teammate Keen Hodgson, who's used one set of medium compound tyres in qualifying. So we'll only have one left, but I doubt the other medium set are heavily used. If he needs them again later in the race, we can always pop onto them. Finley, Kyle and Finley, P15 and P16 on the mediums. Alex on medium tyres, and Kaz also on the medium tyres then. No Yogurt tonight, sadly for us. He is third in the championship, but Jeroen Visser in the championship lead, looking very good in P2. Jeroen was our winner last time at the Austrian Grand Prix. Currently starts down there in P9. We'll see what the start has for us. Will Jeroen Visser try and go side by side and try and get Samba to turn 3? Can Samba defend from Jeroen Visser? Can Ronzos get a decent start in P3? Could he try and get involved in the battle for the lead there? As all the 18 drivers are approaching the line, the strategy will be soft and medium. I presume it's lap 10 or 11 the drivers will start to pit, or lap 9 on the medium compound tyres. You can take these mediums a long way in the race. I don't expect the hards to be used unless early contact is made and they want to go to hards for the rest of the race, hoping for a safety car during it. But anyways, 5 lights will go off soon. All 18 drivers lined up on the grid, and there are the lights then. You can see the cars revving up, and away we go then. Round 8 for the British GP. It looks like Jeroen Visser has got a decent start off the line. As we make our way to turn 1, they're going side by side now. Samba has the outside line. Ron just goes off the track there. He's currently under pressure from Khalifa behind. But Samba leads into turn 3 we go. Then Jeroen Visser in P2. Ron's just in P4. As they go 3 abreast, into turn 4 we go. It looks like Hans has the inside line. Khalifa was involved in the sandwich between Ginger, and he keeps P4. And he spun. Hans is spun. He made contact with the Ferrari there as he rejoins down in P18 on the soft compound tyres. Not what he wanted whatsoever. As you can see there, Ginger trying to go around the outside, but can't quite make it stick. There's the Ferrari and Zach trying to go around the outside of Ginger into Blufffield, but can't quite make that stick. As we go on to the old pit straight then, Samba maintains his lead ahead of Jeroen Visser. Ronzos in P3, P1, P2 and P3 stay where they are, with Khalifa down in P4. Ginger under pressure from Zach in P5 there, followed by Jeroen, who's gained 2 places. Terra Racer in P8 as we approach Magnus and Beckett now, as we're going on to the main straight. The hanger straight is called. DRS won't be enabled to lap 3 then, so Jeroen Visser will have to wait for that unless he wants to go for an early move. But it looks like Zach is close enough to Ginger. Will he try and go down the inside into Stowe? No, he can't. Just too far ahead is Ginger to make that move. Anybody else close enough? Sahilu's been overtaken by a medium runner. Ty started down to P11 and it's up into P9, but Ty has made contact with Toe Racer, or did he just knock the rears up? I'm not quite sure, but nevertheless he's lost time towards Toe Racer. Look at that, he's just struggling on those medium compound tyres, and he has Sahilu all over the back of him then. But I'll watch out for him on those mediums, on those softs behind him. Look at that, Sahilu twitching through there. Almost lost it coming out of turn 1 and turn 2. You can see Kazisel making a move around the outside of Keen. I believe they both made contact there, but Kazisel is up into P12 for P18 already, so 6 places made in the space of 2 laps. The top 3 already building up a 1 second gap over Khalifa. Ginger is behind Khalifa with Zach as well, so Khalifa needs to try and get himself within that 1 second range of DRS to try and stay in this battle between P1. But Ginger and Zach are going side by side. This could get very interesting between the two, but Ginger backs out of it and Zach claims P5 ahead of Ginger, and we've got yellow flag. That's a Mercedes. That's Williams, sorry. In fact, a Mercedes and Williams, because I believe Hayes spun as well, and Kazizel has rejoined down in P16 as Finley's out of the session. Where's he crashed? Oh, he's crashed in a weird place on the old pitch straight. So a virtual safety car has neutralised this race. Not a place I expect somebody's crash, but our first retirement goes towards Finley. Virtual safety car then is out to neutralise the race. I don't expect anybody to pit during this early. Sahilu's job, he needs to get himself ahead of Tyres, the medium runner ahead of him, because he don't want to get stuck behind the mediums during this first part of the race while the softs are still in good shape. But when will the virtual safety car end? Kizizel retires in the pit lane as well. Both Mercedes down in P15 and in P16 there. Oh, look at that, Samba almost lost it going into turn 3, jetting on the curb. As DRS is enabled, Chivu looks like he's got a better restart than Samba. Terra Racer has got past Jerome in P7, or the swapping positions, I can't quite tell. But here comes Chivu, goes down the inside as we go into Brooklands then. Samba will try and stick it around the outside. Into Luffield we go, he goes off the track side and they're side by side now, coming through Luffield. Who gets a better exit? Chivu has the outside line and he almost made contact there, but Samba cuts through on him and he goes down the inside again. And then we make our way into Cops then. Samba still maintains the lead of this race. What a fantastic battle going on between P1, P2 and P3 there with Ronjas. Ronjas looking interested in the background. Khalifa needs to get himself in that 1 second range on DRS. He will take advantage more Ronjas if these two come to contact. As we go on to the well into Hanger Straight then. Giroud having DRS, but Ronjas is so close behind him. Giroud has to think about defending and attacking at the same time. No moves down there into Stowe just yet. Anybody close enough to make a move? Is Terra Racer close enough down there in P8? No, he's not. But Khalifa has to get himself in that 1 second range of DRS. If he does that, he can get himself in that 1 second range. It will help his battle with Zach and the rest of us behind him. As we head on to lap 4 out of 26, then the battle continues between Giroud, Samba and Ronjas as Kyle on those medium compound tyres has set the fastest lap of this race. Going through turn 4 we go. They can see Ronjas there taking different lines. Oh, we almost lost the car on traction there. DRS enabled yet again on this straight for the top 3, well except Samba of course. Giroud just biding his time. Going into Brooklands we go. No overtaking moves I can see, that's not been done yet, but Sahilu is close behind Tyres. Sahilu on those soft compound tyres, he desperately needs to try and make a move on Tyres. Is he close enough? Yes he is, but he's not using the ERS to try and overtake him. But it's tantalisingly close between the top 4. Khalifa is outside that 1 second range of DRS again, so he'll be vulnerable to Zach and Ginger, Jerome and the rest of them behind him, being the slipstream provider of the second part of that train. But as we head on to the Hanger Straight then, Jerome has the DRS and the battery power to try and get past Sam. But there we go, he blasts his past, but here comes Ronzo. Up into P2 he goes. I think Giroud had to get that done, otherwise if he didn't, Ronzo would be coming past both of them. So Samba has lost the lead and lost second place as well for good measure, so lost 2 positions on 1 straight. Oh, look at that, you can see him sliding through the last corner there as Giroud sets the fastest lap. No surprise there, using that battery power. And Zach is the first man to pick up a penalty. Already on to lap 5. That could cost costly with the safety cars as well. You can see Samba there taking different lines, getting so close, trying to put Ronzus under pressure. As we go onto the straight again, Khalifa has got himself in the DRS range, but he's also used a lot of the battery as well. So once he gets himself in that DRS range, he also needs to try and save some battery. Ready to defend or attack. If you stay behind your opponent, it's quite easy to save up some ERS. It's not like Portugal, where it's so hard to save up ERS. Tracks like this, you can easily regain your ERS if you're behind somebody. And Samba's gone off the track there, he's gone way out wide. He might pick up a warning for that one, so got to be careful not to do that more than 2 times. I know he's been struggling through the corners, especially the slow speed corners on traction. And Jerome has picked up a 3-second time penalty here. Ronzus then has the DRS, but Jerome, has he spun? Where's he gone? He's dropping down to P14, P15. Here comes Sahilo, and yes, he's spun coming out of Magnus Beckett, but Sahilo goes down the inside of tyres and he's up into P8. That's a shame there for Jerome. Last time out in Austria he won the Grand Prix, and sadly for him he's down there in P16. As we head to lap 5 out of 26 then. Jerome leading this race ahead of Ronzus and Samba in P3. Khalifa in P4, closer this time. He's been lingering outside that 1 second range of DRS, but look at Samba, looks like he's just all over the place at the moment in these slow speed corners. As we go onto the hanger straight, well into straight then. It's just a one big massive DRS train so far. Drivers are up into P1, doing a fantastic job so far. Experienced driver is Jerome Vizzer. Coming out of World Cup we go then, no battles so far going on. Ties is our highest medium runner so far in P9, doing a very good job. But look at that, Ronzus is so close behind Jerome Vizzer. Can he get a decent exit? Coming out on Magnus Beckett, can he try and set him up? Going into Stowe. I know in the dirty air it's quite difficult going into Magnus Beckett, as DRS is able then for Ronzus. This should be an easy overtake for Ronzus, using that battery power. And yes he does, he goes up to the lead then. So new race leader Ronzus in P1 ahead of Jerome Vizzer. Samba is in P3 with Khalifa following in P4. He'll be relieved that the guys ahead of him are battling, so he can try and get in there and try and save some of that battery power because he's quite low. Look at that, Zach's got like way more battery in comparison to Khalifa. Zach doesn't know that just yet because the flashing light on the back of Khalifa's car has not appeared yet, but once he knows that, or parts of him soon. Sahilo down there in P9 is out of DRS range, and look at that, Samba taking the same line he's taken the past few laps. As we go to well into straight yet again then, all on DRS range of each other. Any overtakes going on, is Terra Racer close enough? No, he's not behind Ginger. Sahilo under pressure from the medium runners of Tyres and Arne behind him, or now sorry. Look at Terra Racer so close behind Ginger there, going into Luffield. As we head on to the old pit straight then, as we come into Cops. Pit stops will start happening soon, within a few laps time, presumably lap 9 or 10. Which one of these drivers will be the first one to try and pull the trigger on the undercut? Undercut can be quite powerful around here. Remember, it's only a one-stop strategy because the pit lane loss is huge around here in comparison to other tracks, so you don't want to be doing that two-stop at all. And look at that, I thought Khalifa would go and just try and dive in the pit lane there, but he hasn't. But Alex and Kyle are having a battle for P30. They're going side by side now, is Alex and Kyle. This is where Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen crashed here back in 2019. Alex stays ahead of Kyle for the time being. As we go on to lap 8 then, out of 26, we'll see some pit stops happening soon. But who is the first driver? The fear of doing pit stops though is the safety car, because going on to lap 9 and 10, once you're in a brand new set of mediums, you have to push as hard as you can, but safety cars is also a factor around here. And that could significantly ruin your strategy as well. Going into Brooklands we go. No one's close enough to make a move on this occasion, so we have to wait it out. Ginger in P5, but Kyle and Alex are having a fight there, as Kyle overtakes Alex for P13. Almost losing quid out of Brooklyn's there. So those two had a scrap for P13 and P14. Giroud is our championship leader, right behind Rondas yet again, coming through Magnus and Beckett's. Wonder when he will try and overtake Rondas back for the lead of this race. Alex and Kyle are still fighting, so we'll go ball with them and see what happens. In fact, he's overtaken him into Magnus and Beckett's. Unexpected place you see people overtaken, but Kyle has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Passing the pit lane, and here we are then. Samba and Khalifa, first two drivers coming to the pit lane. Anybody following him? Nope, then nobody's following him. So first two drivers to try and pull the undercut. Once the pit stops start happening, this is when the DRS train starts to break down a bit, because you'll get something like field spread. I'll have different groups fighting, but Ginger is so close behind Zach now. Zach does not have DRS because the drivers ahead of him have pitted, so he'll be vulnerable on this straight then. As here we go, Ginger will overtake Zach easily, and up into P3 they go then. So Giroud and Rondas now knows that Samba and Khalifa have pitted, so those two are going to push as hard as they can on their outlap to try and potentially stay ahead of them. But Samba rejoins down in P12 with clear air ahead of Kyle, so Khalifa and Samba could try and use that clear air to try and do the undercut on Giroud and Rondas. As we make our way through Magnus and Beckett's then, Giroud are trying to overtake Rondas now that the pit lane actually started to happen. DRS on the back straight, ERS enabled, and easy move there for Giroud. He'll probably pop into the pit lane after this lap, as Zach has re-overtaken Ginger for P3. There we go then, Zach ahead of Ginger, and they don't pit, those two stay out, but into the pit lane comes Zach, Ginger, Tow Racer and Sahilo. All four of them are pitted, but oh, Sahilo was so close to hit the back of the Red Bull of Zach. That's the Red Bull of Tow Racer, apologies about that, but Zach has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So interestingly, these two did not pit, they stay out. Now the longer they stay out, I know this is obvious, but the longer they stay out, the better chance of Khalifa and Samba to do the undercut on these two. So I wonder what their strategy is. Go very long in this race and go on a brand new set of mediums, try to hunt them down afterwards. Samba will rejoin ahead of Zach. There we go then, easily for Zach and Khalifa, up into P8 and P9 they go, ahead of Zach, Ginger, Tow Racer and Sahilo. Staying out an extra lap for Rondas and Giroud might not do him any favours whatsoever, because now the tyres are warmed up with Samba and Khalifa, they can start to push harder on them and try and reduce that gap. There we go, they're back on board with Giroud and Rondas as we go on board with the Red Bull, trying to overtake Giroud. Giroud having more ERS compared to Rondas. Into Stowe we go, and they do pit, both will pit 2 laps later in comparison to Samba and Khalifa, so we'll find out then, will they rejoin ahead or behind? We'll go on board with Samba to find out, as Ginger picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not what he needs at all in his race with Zach, Tow Racer and Sahilo. Interesting is Sahilo caught up with those guys. He was behind, he was fighting with tyres earlier on, so he must have gained some time back on those 3 drivers. Here we go then, Khalifa and Samba, this is very important for them. Where will Rondas and Giroud rejoin? They're just about coming out of the pit lane as Samba sets the fastest lap of this race. You'll see him come out of the pit lane. There we go then, under the bridge we go, and someone has retired. And there we go then, Rondas has dropped down into a net P4. Yeah, it is true, net P4 then. Samba takes the lead of this race effectively in P6. That's crucial for him then. And crucially for Khalifa, who was behind Rondas, is now ahead of him. So both of those drivers have gained 1 position. Giroud stays in P7 though, but at least he's not behind both of them, only one of them. Going to be an interesting fight towards the end between these four and the four behind. Different four-way battles going on so far. Meanwhile, Tyres lead this race ahead of Keen. Mikulitsi has overtaken. Oh, he's got off the track as Mikulitsi. Did he make contact with Arnaud? Arnaud is up into P3. Then Mikulitsi tried to fend too hard and he goes off the track in the process. I'm not quite sure, but he's down in P4 at the moment. Both Alfa Romeos in second and in third place. And Ronzas has overtaken Khalifa for P3 of the race, net P3. And Ginger hits ahead of Zach, so Ginger managed to get ahead of Zach in the process as well. Zach and Ginger both have penalties for different reasons. Zach for speeding the pit lane and Ginger with a 3-second time penalty. As Ginger sets the fastest lap of this race, then can he try and get himself in the 1 second range of DRS towards Khalifa? Can he try and drag himself in this 4-way fight for P6, net P1 so far? Oh, he's lost it! You can see the rear brakes locking there, and he's going to be vulnerable towards Zach. Attack that corner too aggressively to Ginger and pay the consequences with Zach right behind him. And there we go then on this Wellington straight. There goes Zach, pulls towards the left hand side, and Ginger has been overtaken yet again by Zach. That's cost him about 6 tenths because the gap was 1 second and that was 1.6, so cost him a bit of time by doing that mistake as Ginger. Luckily didn't spin the car fully, but locking the rear axles not going to do him any favours whatsoever into turn 3. Samba goes off the track for the second time in a row. Don't do that one more time, otherwise we'll pick up a penalty there. As we come through Magnus and Beckett, Giroud and Ronzas are right behind him. Battle for P2 as well is going on between Tyres, Hodgson, Arnaud and Mikulitsi, but there goes Giroud on Samba for the net lead of this race. We're back for where we started then with Giroud, Samba and Ronzas. Can Zach try and close in on Khalifa as well for P9 in this race? Very interesting going on throughout the field there. Got a different 4-way fight going on between the top 4. 6, 7, 8 and 9, and 10, 11, 12 and 13th. Lap 13 out of 26 then. Tyres lead this race ahead of Keen. Arnaud in P3 ahead of Mikulitsi. You can see Samba taking the same line as he's taking all throughout the race. He loves taking that line, does Samba. Does that give him much better exit, I wonder? I thought taking a wider line would give you a much better exit. Much more wider line instead of a acute angle. And Ginger has overtaken Zach back for P10. Khalifa there, all over the back of Ronzas as well. Can Ginger try and get himself inside that 1 second range of DRS? It's not going to help his case with fighting Zach, because the more he fights Zach, the more he'll drop out that 1 second range. He's so close in that 1 second range of DRS, but just can't quite make it. Meanwhile, battle for the lead going on. Tyres is still ahead of Keen, fighting with Mikulitsi. Oh, Tyres lost it! Tyres lost it, where is he? He's spun and hit the wall. Is he out of the race? No, he's not. He's lost his front wing. That's a massive shame there for Tyres. And luckily the pit lane is just right there, but that has compromised his race. And yeah, he speeds in the pit lane and he's going to retire, I presume. Yeah, he does retire. Massive shame, just lost it on traction there coming out. As Mikulitsi has pitted onto soft speed go and out the pit lane. I think that was a glitch there. I don't think he was stationary for that long, but that's a massive shame there for Tyres. They're doing a fantastic job defending from Keen and Arnaud and Kyle in P3. Mikulitsi, sorry. Mikulitsi has rejoined down in P12. 12 laps to go on these soft compound tyres. Let's see what he can do from here on in, but look at that. Massive train going on behind Giroud, as Ginger has got himself in that 1 second range of DRS. It'll be very interesting to see how many battles go on throughout here. No safety car just yet. Mikulitsi probably thought there was a safety car coming out. That'd be the perfect time for a safety car to come out. That'll benefit Mikulitsi a lot. So Mikulatsi's done his medium stint, and now we're just waiting for Keen and Arnaud to come to pit lane. Arnaud is right behind him. These two do not pit. The more they stay out, the longer they stay out, the better chance the Mikulitsi has of undercutting them. And Keen had a bit of a scruffy exit coming out of the penultimate corner there. He's got Arnade right behind him. Meanwhile, Samba is all over the back of Jeroen Visser. Battle for the lead going on here, and battle for P6 going on here as well. So many battles going on the track. As we come on to the Wellington Straight then, is Arnaud close behind the Hogson to try and overtake him for P1. No, he's too far back on this occasion. Have to wait for the long straight to try and get past him. Keen Hogson doing a very good job to stay P1 there. Here we go then for these drivers. Is Samba close enough to try and overtake Jeroen into Brooklands? No, he's not. He's too far back behind, I must say, and everybody else is too far back behind to make a move on any other people. Mikulitsi is not far off this battle. He's only 4.4 seconds behind Sahilu. He'll be arriving at this party shortly. But will he be a victim of the DRS train as well? Will he get stuck in there? I wonder how he'll progress on those soft compound tyres. He goes to the Haggard Straight. Arnaud is just too far back to make a move on Keane. Coming into Stowe we go. Are they going to pit this lap? Yes they are. No, yes they are. Both of them do pit this lap. And they're going to soft compound tyres. But look at that, Samba then. He overtakes Jeroen Visser for the lead of this race in P4. Or net lead, shall I say. Who is going to win this race? Will it be Samba? Will it be Jeroen? Battles going on everywhere outside the field. We've got a massive DRS train now as Mikulitsi on those soft compound tyres still closing in on Sahilu. It's only a matter of time when Mikulitsi catches up to this train. There'll be a massive train when he arrives on the scene. So will Keane and Art now. They'll be in that massive train soon. Samba in P12, so the only driver left to pit then is Kyle in P1. I think he'll pit soon on because those mediums will probably come towards the end of their stint soon. As we head on to Brooklands then on lap 16, getting so close between second, third and fourth there with Ronsers in P4, Khalifa P5, and Ginger in P6, Zach in P7, Sahilu and Terror Racer in P8 and P9. And Mikulitsi will shortly arrive on the scene in P10, followed by Keane and Arnaud on those brand new set of soft compound tyres. No DRS so far. We've had a virtual safety car. Finley, Kaziso, Alex and Tyres has retired from the race. DRS enabled the dispatch straight there. The thing is though, Jeroen Visser's got to watch out for Ronsers because if he wants to save the battery, if he wants to go for a last lap lunge or something, he's got to watch out for Ronsers. He's got to attack and defend at the same time. I don't think Ronsers want to stay in P4 for any longer, but Kyle is in the pit lane and onto a brand new set of softs he goes. As we head on to lap 17 out of this race then. Jeroen Visser following the Ferrari of Samba. And we're coming to turn 3 then. Jeroen will have the DRS. Looks like Ginger's close behind Khalifa as well when he will make a move on him. Ginger trying to take different lines through there. DRS enabled on this Wellington Straight. I don't think anybody's close enough to make a move. Is Ginger close enough to make a move? No, he's not. Too far behind. Sahilu on Terror Racer. Nope, he's too far behind as well. And Mikulitsi is 3.8 seconds behind Sahilu. We'll keep that in mind. The gap was 5 seconds. Now it's got about 3.7 or 3.6 now. As he continues to gain time with Sahilu. It's only a matter of time to when Mikulitsi catches up. And can he overtake those guys up there? Samba, bearing in mind, has got a 3-second time penalty. So this race win could belong to Jeroen or Ronsers or Khalifa. As we go to the main straight then. Here we go, Jeroen Visser then close enough to make a move this time. Using the battery power and getting past it, but Ronsers will follow through. Will he try and go around the outside? Into Stowe we go. No, he doesn't. Samba maintains P2, but loses P1 also in the process. But will Ronsers try and go down the inside of one? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Into these final 3 corners we go. But Samba has the inside line and track position. But yeah, I think Ronzis, if those two fight throughout the final 3 corners, I think they knew that Giroud will probably pull away and try and build on that 1 second gap while these two are fighting. So I think it was best for Ronzis to try back out there and go for it at the most suitable place. Must be frustrating for these guys being just stuck down there, can't do anything about it, because situation like this, you just can't do anything about it, just being stuck behind each other. Whereas the only people that possibly overtake each other is first, second or third. In my Ginger is close behind Khalifa. Mikulitsi is 3.9 seconds away now from Sahilu, 3.8, so the gap has started to come down or drop just a little bit, not too much now. Has got any more pace to try and catch up to Sahilu. Look at that, Ronzis is right behind Samba. Surprised these guys are not making any mistakes whatsoever. Only little mistakes, but not enough to lose the car or anything like that. In the dirty air like this, in the lead of this race as well, very easy to lose the car. And look at Ronzis, he's so close behind Samba now, using that DRS, and there he goes then. Up into P2 he goes. Giroud as a defender thinking he has to, but he doesn't because Ronzis is too far back to make a move on him. Ronzis knows he has a chance of winning this race. Up into P2, the prime position. Can he start trying to put pressure on Giroud? There's a bit of a wobble on going on in the final corner. Look at that, Ginger is right behind Khalifa. He would desperately try and want to get past him too, because he knows there's a chance of a podium going on with Samba's 3-second time penalty. Will Ginger try and go down the inside? Yes, he will. They go side by side, keeping it nice and clean. Try and go for a wider angle through here to get a much better exit with a slingshot exit effect. There we go, then he's right behind the Haas. They both have DRS on the straight. Will Ginger try and get past him using the ERS as well? Khalifa also uses the ERS. Will Ginger try and go down the inside? Yes, they will. They go side by side into Brooklands. And yet again into Luffield again. It goes around the outside a bit. I think they made contact through there. And Ginger gets ahead. Up into P4 he goes. If he's got a penalty, so I think the podium will go to Khalifa if he doesn't pick up a penalty himself. But that's a good move there from Ginger, almost wiping out Khalifa. Meanwhile, it's so close between these guys, P1 and P2 and P3. It's just a shame that these guys got penalties. Ronzis so close to the back of Giroud, so these two don't have penalties. Not using the ERS. He turned off the DRS for a slight moment off there. And look at that, Zach's going down the inside of Khalifa. And they go side by side coming through Stowe. And I believe Zach has made the move. Up into P5 he goes. He's also got a penalty as well. But Khalifa dropping down 2 places in space of 1 lap. Hopefully they don't drop down too much. We've got Terra Racer and Sahilu behind. Mikulitsi has brought the gap down slightly towards Sahilu by a few tenths now, as Arnaud has set the fastest lap of this race. Look at Ginger, he's so close behind Samba. He try to go around the outside? Not quite sure, but look at that. Terra Racer and Sahilu go side by side. Sahilu taking a wider angle to get a much better exit. He's mostly going to overtake Terra Racer. There we are then, onto the Wellington Straight. Terra Racer using the battery there to stay ahead of Sahilu. Mikulitsi dropping the gap slightly towards Sahilu as Keane has overtaken Arnaud for P10. Those two had a little bit of battle for themselves. They were in a battle with Mikulitsi, but Mikulitsi pitted 1 lap earlier than Hodgson and Arnaud. That's why they're not behind Mikulitsi at the moment. It's also close between these guys. It could be there we go then, Ronzis then. He overtakes Giroud for the lead of this race then. Makes his move on lap 20. Is Sahilu close enough to Terra Racer to make a move? No, he's not, too far behind. I believe Ginger went wide coming out of Stowe, so hopefully he hasn't picked up a warning through there. He goes slightly wide though coming out of the penultimate corner. You can see the car sliding just a bit on exit for Ginger as he continues to push that Alpine everywhere. But this is a fascinating race so far between the top 8. Picking up a penalty could make a massive difference because he could go from first all the way down to 9th place for instance, or 8th place, with Sahilu being down there. Very crucial not to pick up a penalty. 3 of them so far in this battle have picked up a penalty. We're just waiting for Mikulicki to arrive on the scene. He's 2.7 seconds now behind Silu. And Jeroen is so close behind Ronzas there. Samba looking interested as well. These drivers racing fantastically. Being as clean as they possibly can with each other. Sahilu is right behind Terra Racer. But still can't quite make a move on him. And that is Samba's second penalty. Unfortunate for him, so he'll be mostly likely dropping down into P8 or P9, depends how fast Mikulicki can approach these cars. Hans has picked up a penalty as well down in P13. It's Terra Racer close enough to make a move of Khalifa. There we go then. He goes side by side into Wurst. There we go. Around the outside goes Terra Racer. Bit of contact there between the two. And he has the inside line for the next corner. He breaks later than him. And that's the move done for Terra Racer. There goes Sahila around the outside as well. So Khalifa has dropped from P4 down to P9. P8, sorry. I wonder what's happened to him. Just hasn't got the grip, has Khalifa. Just keeps losing positions, I wonder. Only one lap on the tyres. Oh, Sahila almost lost it. Mid-corner through there, through turn 1. But good battles going on so far between these guys. Back on board with the top 3 then. 4 laps to go in this race. Jeroen's not close enough to make a move on Ronzas. I know Jeroen Visser has been in this situation before for the lead of this race. He's saving up the ERS, waiting to pounce on lap 25 or 6. One of the 2 laps he'll try and do it on. As we go into Cops for another time. Keane is right behind Arnaud for... Oh, he's just picked up a penalty, has Keane. But as we go to straight there for Samba, Jeroen and Ronzas. Looks like they're not swept in position so far. You can see Jeroen is turning off that DRS. He doesn't want to go for a move too early because he knows Ronzas can save that battery and try and get it back within the later laps. But Keane has got past Arnaud for P10. They had a little bit of a battle between themselves. Mikulicki then is 2.7 seconds behind. He's lost a bit of time in compared to Khalifa, so has that opportunity gone for him? I wonder if the grip's not there for Mikulicki to try and catch up to Khalifa. 2.7 seconds is the gap as Samba then sliding the car through traction. It must be absolutely frustrating being down there, stuck in that DRS train, can't do anything about it. But Jeroen then, he knows when to apply his attack. He doesn't want to go for it too early because he knows Ronzas will come back at him on lap 25 or 26. He wants to be careful, wants to plan this move as well. Now he's got Samba behind him, he's going to plan the move at the right time because I know Samba, I don't think he cares about waiting because he's got that 3-second time penalty, so he might go at any opportunity he has. Jeroen's got to plan his attacks at the right time. Same for Ronzas as well, try and defend from him at the right time as well. As we come on to Magnus and Beckett then, Jeroen has set the fastest lap of this race. Will it be now for Jeroen? Will he try and go for it now? Yes, he will, because I think he's got Samba right behind him. And there he goes then, up to the lead in P1. Ronzas his turn to try and save the ERS. It could be very interesting between who will win this race. Will it be Jeroen or will it be Ronzas? Who knows? But Keane has overtaken Arnaud. They go side by side yet again. But Keane has the track position and stays in P10. And Ginger stuck down there in P4. He can't do anything about it as well. Look at that, the top 3, all within 5/10 with each other. It's so close between those guys. Samba taking the same line he's been taking throughout the whole of this race. He lost that line, doesn't he? As we go to the Wellington straight. Ronzas will not use the battery down here. He'll try and save it up. Ready for the main straight, which will be down at the Hanger straight. And look at that, you can see Sahilo all over the back of Terra Racer. He's been stuck behind Terra Racer for the majority of this race. Would love to get past him anytime soon. And Mikulicki 3.2 seconds behind now. I think the fight is off between Mikulicki and the medium runners. He might have to watch out for his Alfa Romeo teammate down there in P10 because he's 1.5 seconds behind him now, and they are catching Mikulicki. And he's also dragging along the Haas driver of Arnaud, so Be very careful. Jerome has retired in the pit lane, so no safety car, but I think it'll be too late for a safety car to come out anyways. Ron's just using that battery because he knows Samba's right behind, but he doesn't want to overtake Giroud. He wants to wait it out. But the thing is though, if he waits it out, he's got Samba crawling over the back of him as well, so that's a massive problem for Ronza if he wants to try and plan that attack. Sahilu still can't get past Terra Racer there. But we're heading on to lap 25, the penultimate lap of this race for round 8. Who will win? Last time out it was Giroud, who's just retired in the pit lane. Will it be Ronzas or will it be Giroud? Most unlikely will be Samba or Ginger because of those penalties they've got over their names. But as we head on to the Wellington Straight for the second last time, if he's going to defend on the last lap, Giroud is going to do a mighty defence against Ronzas. Be very interested to see how this goes down towards the last lap of this race, because it'll be most likely the overtakes will happen on the last lap. Sahilu so close behind Terra Racer, he just can't seem to find a way past the Dutchman. Coming through Magnus and Beckett then, going to be very nice and clean through here, especially now during these stages of this race. Gets a decent exit, all three of them I think, yeah they do. And Ginger is under pressure from Zach behind him, so we might see a move going on for 5th place. There he is then, they go side by side, Zach and Ginger. Ginger has the inside line, but Zach has the outside line. They're going side by side, so close, wheel to wheel racing. And Zach has overtaken Ginger, but Ginger tries to go back around the outside, and he can't quite make it stick there, so he has to give up the position towards Zach. We're going to watch out for Terra Racer right behind, but we're on to the last lap now. Who is going to win this race? Oh, Samba's retired, and he's actually crashed on the straight. Must have lost traction through there, because I don't think he was side by side with anybody, but yeah. This race is going towards Ronzas, and Giroud Vizza. Who is going to win this British GP? Will it be these two? It's got to be. It's one of these two for sure, with guys behind having penalties. This will go down to Stowe between Giroud and Ronzas. Ronzas needs a really good exit, so does Giroud Vizza. Can Giroud Vizza defend the attack from Ronzas, or can Ronzas try and get him down into Stowe? I don't see any other possible overtaking anywhere else. Maybe if they're side by side through Stowe and going down into Vale. Coming through Cots we go. Also very important for these two not to pick up a penalty as well. Sahilu 1/10 right behind Terra Racer is coming to Magnus and Beckett for the last time of this race. Ronzas needs a really good exit out of here to try and overtake Giroud. Likewise to Giroud defended. But here we go then. This is the main pinpoint of this race. Ronzas trying to overtake Giroud. Giroud defended as much as he can. And there we go then, Ronzas tries to go around the outside, they're going side by side, wheel to wheel. Ronzas has the outside line, that's so close. And Ronzas will have the inside line, it's going to be so close towards the end of this race. But Ronzas takes the lead in this race, can Giroud Vizza do a switchback on Ronzas? No he can't. And Ronzas then will come across the line to win the British GP ahead of Giroud Vizza. Terra Racer, Ginger, Terra Racer gets a podium in P3 with Sahilu in P4, Khalifa P5, Ginger P6, Mikulitsi in P7, Keane in P8, Zach P9, Hayes in P10 and Kyle in P11. It all came down to the last lap. Bit of respect there from Giroud Vizza and Ronzas. Terra Racer picks up a podium. That's because he didn't pick up any penalties, kept it nice and clean, didn't get any under pressure from Sahilu behind, and that is it then for the British GP. The pivotal moment there as Ronzas wins is a double Red Bull podium, which will do well for the constructors. Giroud Vizza settling for P2 there. Respect to both of them, clean racing, not pushing each other off the track. Giroud Vizza not weaving too much of the straight. Got to give credit there for those two. Fantastic driving indeed. Terra Racer from P10 to P3, Sahilu from P8 to P4, Khalifa finishes at P5, Ginger in P6, Miku in P7 ahead of his teammate Keane, Zach in P9 picking up penalties, and Hayes in P10 and Kyle in P11. But that is it then for the British GP. Put up a fantastic display as we always expected. No safety cars, the weather didn't play a factor into this race. one-stop strategy. And yeah, that was a pretty simple race there for the British GP. Nice way to end it off. As we move on to the next one. Where is the next one? I'm gonna have a. The next one is in Belgium, so if I am commentating or if I'm racing, then it should be a good one. But yeah, that was a fantastic race. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next week, Friday 7 PM, for the Belgian Grand Prix.